4 suspects initially, we believe. 2 were let out at separate locations in Sylmar. Last word we had was the police are still searching for those suspects. They are at large from what we can tell at this moment. And then that pursuit all the way here to South Los Angeles, where we have really never seen suspects throw so much money out of the window of a car.
And I've never seen this type of end.
Yeah.
Where within minutes, seconds even, actually I should rephrase,
More than 100
almost
people.
Instantly 100 people show up and they're hamming for the cameras, they're cheering, they're clapping, and you don't know why. Immediately you don't get that he's trying to disperse the crowd, trying to get them to go into a way. But again,
that the sheriff and LAPD are requesting at least 6 or 7 additional vehicles to respond to the area for crowd control. You can see that the 717 here at Kansas and Burner, where we can determine trying to do crowd control. Getting off these citizens these people walking away from the parking system, get them out of the area. And so they're requesting backup assistance to clear out this area. At least 200 to 300 individuals, possibly even more, in this intersection, causing this ruckus here.
what's the intersection again, JT? One of the things that we're noticing here is it seems as if the object of their attention, from our perspective, is the vehicle. And you have several, it looks to me like an off-duty officer, but also other officers in uniform guarding the vehicle, which is, of course, now evidence. But just common sense would tell you that having all that money tossed from the vehicle during the pursuit, curiosity is going to have people want to look in that vehicle and see if there's more money there, and it is possibly one reason why the officers are surrounding the vehicle and not allowing anyone to get near it. But that is where people seem to be congregating, is that vehicle.
Yeah, you can imagine you have, there's some of the cops driving up.
Yeah,
Go on.
The priority here, Leslie, when they want to get these suspects out of here before any people might try to commandeer those suspects out of the vehicle, they want to get these suspects out. You can see the people pounding on the car and giving them a thumbs up. And they want to get these suspects out of here. They want to get the cars out of here. They want to clear this area as quickly as possible.
And as you see, many of the people are following the officers and kind of starting to clear that intersection. One thing Leslie has pointed out several times is the driver of that truck, which in essence put an end to this chase by pulling into the intersection, was still sitting there. And police were going to be wanting to talk to them, I'm sure. But if you notice that, this is where everybody is going. They continue to follow these police cars.
Yeah, this is interesting as
It's become a gridlock situation here. Northbound on Kansas vehicles are bumping into each other, trying to get out of the way. It is gridlocked here from all the people coming into this area, it looks like, just to get a glimpse of this pursuit termination. Right now, northbound Kansas from Vernon completely blocked out, and they're trying to get these suspects out of here.
So again, Kansas and Vernon is the scene of the conclusion of the chase, and the Volvo is still there. And we assume there are still people in that section of this as well. You see them there, and then about half of the crowd, as you could tell, followed the 2 cars away that were carrying the suspects.
It's volatile. It's also it's dangerous, and I'm sure people realize that. But can you imagine? See, you're at home and you're in this neighborhood, and you hear that there's a chase in your neighborhood. Guys who allegedly robbed the bank and are throwing money out the window. Everybody's running outside. You know.
And Leslie and Phillip, you can see the LAPD and the LA County Sheriffs have set up a skirmish line here, a line of about 15, 20 officers, and they're pushing that crowd southbound on Kansas from Vernon, trying to move them back here. And the same thing to the northwest corner. They'll be setting up a skirmish line here as well to do the same. But again, this vehicle still trying to move northbound on Kansas to clear out of this area. It's gridlocked right now, but they're doing a better job. They have lots of officers there clearing that sidewalk, clearing the street to try to get them out of there.
It's 11:30 right now. You are watching Eyewitness News at 11:30. This is breaking news. I'm Philip Palmer along with Leslie Sykes. JT Alpa is in Air 7 HD. This is what's happened. We had a report of a Bank of America being robbed at about 10:08 this morning. That led to a police pursuit of the black Volvo SUV that you see in the intersection there. That is Kansas and Vernon in South Los Angeles. The live picture is to your right. To your left is video videotape of the pursuit that took some hour and a half before it finally came to an end. One of the most dramatic aspects of this chase, and possibly one of the reasons so many people went to this intersection at the end of it, was the Volvo and the passengers in it were throwing money out of the Volvo during this pursuit. People would run into traffic, into this pursuit, in an effort to grab that money. We also are under the impression that two people got out of this SUV in Sylmar at the very beginning or early on in this chase, one on Hubbard, the other on Yarnell. We're under the impression at last check that those two people are still outstanding. About 11:20, officers were able to jump out of their vehicles when the suspect became blocked in an intersection at Kansas and Vernon. They moved in very quickly, took the person out of the driver's side and the passenger side, immediately took them into custody, put them into a couple of cars, and tried to get them out of this intersection so that we could get away from here and disperse the crowd. And of course, as you heard JT say a moment ago, they've recently set up skirmish lines to try and go ahead and get these folks out of the area. Many of them drawn to this by the uniqueness of it all.
Absolutely, and you can see that the black SUV is there, which is evidence. Police trying to guard that evidence as a growing crowd control problems continues to emerge, and the other two patrol cars are taking the two suspects away, and they were being surrounded and followed by pedestrians and people coming out of their homes. So this is quite a problem for sheriff's deputies there. They have called in extra units. They have a skirmish line, as JT Alpa mentioned, trying to control the crowd, secure their scene, get the evidence that they need, and get these suspects away into jail and get this whole thing under control. But it's a mess right now, you can see.
JT Alpa has been covering this for quite some time now. You were telling us, JT, that it's sheriffs that have the suspects in custody and that were, for the most part, taking care of this pursuit, but LAPD's who's been called in to help control the crowd now?
Yeah, absolutely. This has quickly turned in from a pursuit situation to a crowd management, crowd control situation, both with LAPD Southwest Division officers and 77th Division officers. Not sure if they're going to be calling in any Metropolitan Division assets that are trained in crowd control, but that could quickly turn into that type of a situation if this continues. But right now you can see that skirmish line set up right in the middle of your screen here. Suspect vehicle surrounded by the sheriff's deputies, and you can see all the blue suiters down there, LAPD officers and supervisors trying to manage this. But you can see that big crowd contingency as they push the crowd eastbound on Kansas here, Vernon, back towards Vermont. That's what they want to get that crowd. They want to move it. Right now, the skirmish line is holding right now. You can see another mobile field force moving in. You see a line of about 12 officers moving into mobile field force type activities. So they're getting reinforcements into the area, surrounding the area, getting more officers here to control this crowd management situation here. And that's basically what's going to happen here until this all clears up so they can continue the investigation. Now, we saw that vehicle. The suspects are still inside these sheriff black and white units up on Kansas. But you can see northbound Kansas from Vernon completely gridlocked here, Leslie and Phillip. And they're trying to get that traffic moving. Looks like they're making some progress here. This is from all the people in the area watching the pursuit, trying to get in to get a look at it. You can see what that has caused here. And lots of black and whites here, lots of media trucks coming into the area as well. But the suspects are in these vehicles right here, trying to be taken out of the area. At least two suspects that we saw get in. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys saw more. But two suspects taken into custody, one of which was actually wearing a tie.
Well,
like business attire.
And JT, one thing I do want to point out, now, clearly there are people in this area who've gone here because of the pursuit, but if you can imagine living and working in that neighborhood, and this pursuit has been going on for some hour in here, certain streets are blocked off, you can't get where you're trying to go, you just want to go home, you just want to go to work, and it looks to me as if in many cases that's what's happened, is people have just been funneled off of main streets onto these side streets, and they're just stuck there, and everybody's been caught in a parade, everybody's been caught in the LA Marathon, and you can only imagine the difficulty that it is going to be for anyone to get out of there. But certainly there are people there with just the curiosity factor, but you can't dismiss the fact that some people are just trying to go about their business as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see the buses in the area trying to get by. When they took the suspects out of the car, we didn't notice any weaponry, did we, Philip? However, they haven't gone into the trunk of that car that we can see, but
We have not
they
seen,
did.
we have not seen them search the vehicle and clear the vehicle except for the people who were in it. We don't know really because we were somewhat obstructed because the people were inside the vehicle as to whether there's a weapon in there and they were somehow just raising their hands and not touching it. But, you know, they did seem to not put up much of a resistance, but then again, that also, I think, could be attributed to the swiftness with which the deputies went straight to the car
That's right.
and got them right out
Within
and ended
seconds
this matter.
immediately.
Because can you imagine if they had delayed at all, how quickly the crowd came upon those cars?
Yeah.
There was no opportunity here for any delay. They
That's
needed
right.
to act quickly, and from our perspective, from a layman's perspective, they did that.
And you can see the influx of LAPD officers there forming that line. People sort of dissipating a little bit, not as many people as before, but they are still there.
Still standing on the street. JT, do you see the suspect cars and whether, or the police car, the sheriff's deputies, and whether they're making any progress to get out of that neighborhood?
Yeah, very, very slowly, Philip. You can see them moving here. You can see the cars in Kansas. They're starting to clear out Kansas, and they're going to get some LAPD Pathfinders, Southwest Division officers, to move them out of there to be Pathfinders to get these suspects out of the area. You mentioned earlier the weapon. Now, we did see, again, during this pursuit, a lot of money, a lot of bills being thrown out for about 20, 30 minutes during the pursuit. We also saw plastic bags. It almost looked like hefty bag type black plastic bags coming out. It's hard to say what was in those bags, maybe more money, but you know, it's very possible that weapons came out in those bags as well. That's all speculation, of course, at this point. But we did not see any weapons come out of the vehicle, being thrown from the vehicle, and that's typically something that may happen in these types of situations as they actually getting these suspects out of here.
JT, you make a great point. If they're going to throw all of the money out, they're probably throwing everything out. But the officers don't know that. They have to proceed and assume the suspects are in there with weapons, and you see now that the sheriff's deputies with the suspects in the patrol cars are able to take them out of the area, away from the crowd. So hopefully as this, as word begins to spread that the deputies are gone, as are the suspects, the crowd will begin to disperse and they will go back about their day.
So the main scene now is